Right, to help us make sense of the arguments and the day's request in the Pretoria High Court, we're now joined by Sdumo Hlophe, CEO of Economic Intervention Forum of South Africa. Mr. Hlophe, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. How have we been calculating these tariff increases that we are now at a point where this process is going to be challenged in court because the Democratic Alliance believes we would have gotten it so wrong?
Yeah, good evening, Tabo, and good evening to the listeners. There is a process which is used by Nersa to calculate tariffs generally, and there are a number of organizations which get involved in doing the tariff calculations. However, Eskom, as you know, makes an application for a tariff increase. If you remember, last year they were asking for a 32% increase. The reason behind their request was that they say the current tariffs are not cost reflective. In other words, when you look at the Eskom books, what they think the tariff should be and what Nersa actually ends up approving as a tariff increase. The approved increases are always much lower than what Eskom wants, which means over the years they've been falling behind in recouping all the costs they need to recoup. And one of the results of that is that at the end of the day, that which Eskom does not recoup from the users, they must get via a bailout from the taxpayer. So in other words, whether or not Eskom gets the tariff they want or they don't, they somehow still end up with the money, and the taxpayer pays for that increase in any case. And what has been happening over the past 5 years is that Eskom has been selling on average 1% less electricity each year. And additionally, as a result of load shedding, the amount of electricity they sell is getting less and less. And due to many more people, especially those who can afford to pay, the affluent people moving to rooftop solar, Eskom will sell even less, and therefore they will demand even higher tariff increases. So it's a catch-22 situation.
So you're a bunch of energy specialists, you're engineers, you're activists, you're all coming together, also some concerns as citizens, as part of the Economic Intervention Forum of South Africa. Do you believe a challenge of the 30% increase and say the Democratic Alliance gets the courts to agree with them and Eskom gets a lesser increase would be worse for Eskom than where Eskom is sitting right now?
My view is that it would be worse for Eskom, because Eskom will not have the money it needs, for example, for maintenance. There are a number of costs, including labor costs, which are running away from Eskom. As you remember, they offered a 7% salary increase, and the money to pay those salary increases they genuinely do not have. And currently Eskom is paying more in salaries than they are spending on maintenance, which is a worrying thing, because we need the maintenance to be done in order for the plants to continue functioning optimally. What we have advocated as the economic intervention of South Africa is that Eskom must claw back on the high ratio of unplanned outages, which stand at about 3 times the planned maintenance, which is around 4,000 to 5,000 megawatts, meaning the unplanned outages, which is literally a dead capacity,
yes,
which has been paid for, is over 15,000, and that's not acceptable.
Yeah. So the electricity minister saying, well, we must suffer now and we'll reap the rewards later. So part of dealing with those unplanned outages would be what he calls deep maintenance work that needs to be done, which would require us to be deliberate about the load shedding right now. Do you believe that that's the correct response that the Minister of Electricity has declared?
We actually do not disagree with him. Where we have a problem is that he says we must suffer now, but he does not tell us how bad must we suffer, should we suffer, stage 8, and if so, for how long. And after we've suffered that stage 8, where will we end? Will we end at stage 1, and then we are done with stage 8 or stage 6 permanently? That is what we would like to hear. We are not afraid of suffering, but we should know how big will be the pain for how long.
Yeah. And the idea of saying, well, the second challenge that the DA is mounting is that it wants government's response to load shedding be declared unconstitutional and an independent expert called a special master be brought in to monitor the government's response in the electricity crisis. Will that help?
I will not engage a lot on the unconstitutionality because I do not know if it's declared unconstitutional, how will it help? We can declare it unconstitutional and continue being unconstitutional, so that does not help a lot. However, the issue of an independent monitor, monitoring the performance, for example, as we've said, the minister says we suffer short-term pain. He must commit himself. You will suffer the short-term pain for this long. And someone must monitor that it does happen. Because currently, as the viewers know, we have been told 24 months ago that load shedding will be gone in 24 months.
Yeah.
That 24 months is long gone. Who's monitoring? So we need that monitoring so that, and also this, the scorecard must be published in the open to see this was the plan, this is the actual. Yeah. Are we moving in the right direction or not? Yeah. Because, for example, the other issue that Eskom said it is going to do, it is going to reduce the, what do they call them? It's those plant maintenances which do not come back as per plan. They plan to take down a unit.
Yeah, delayed returns.
Maintenance.
Delayed returns. Yes.
They told us they are going to reduce them. Have they reduced them? We don't believe so, because just today they said from 12 o'clock this afternoon they were going to stage 4 because there's been a delay in return of to service of certain units. Yeah. But who's tracking? Where is that dashboard where we can see? Is it happening? Are they performing bad? And if not, what are they going to do to improve? Yeah. So that independent monitoring, we welcome.
So I mean, it's almost something, I suppose, that they're calling for, similar to at the point where it felt as though the Minister then of Social Development was interfering with the grant payment system. So they went to the courts to actually have the courts give the minister an ultimatum of when those grants should be paid and when she must report to the courts to tell the courts of the progress that she's making on the payment of those grants. And they are saying a similar situation should be applied at Eskom, where a special master is put in place, the special master appointed and accountable to the courts, and they must assist us in this situation, because as you're saying, we don't know why the power plants are delaying coming back from service. We just hear that they are delayed coming back from service. So we need somebody who will be accountable, and then maybe have the courts intervene in this matter to force Eskom to provide electricity to the people in the way that they should.
Precisely, because the damage is continuing. Daily I see on village auction, business closures, auctions of businesses which are closing down. I can guarantee that most of those businesses are non-viable because of electricity issues. We need agency in solving the load shedding. Yes, the government has told us that they are bringing in new capacity into the system, talking about 66 megawatts of renewable, 66 gigawatts of renewable capacity coming in, but that capacity will not solve the problem today. And the minister as well, sometimes adopting, listening to how the people are talking and coming out and saying, yes, we need to extend the life of plants, etc., which may help in the future. But right now, we are saying the capacity which is down in an unplanned way, that should be brought up. Let him demonstrate there that indeed we can do something, because we have tracked the level of unplanned outages, unplanned capacity. It has only gone down from around 18,000 to 16,000, but it's not going down much anymore. Despite Eskom saying we target to keep it below 15,000. It hasn't happened.
Sdumo Hlophe, I appreciate your time. Let's leave it there for tonight. That's Sdumo Hlophe, CEO of the Economic Intervention Forum of South Africa.